Hey guys, and welcome back to Rank's Indie Game Reviews. I honestly thought I'd be doing Little Nightmares next, but out of nowhere this caught my eye. So what is God's Will Fall? Well, it's a top-down action adventure where you take control of 8 characters that are procedurally generated. You have to choose one of these 8 characters at a time to enter a dungeon to clear it. Every dungeon has a unique boss, and you have to choose what character would be the best suited for this dungeon. If this character dies, it's permadeath, until one of your characters beats this specific dungeon. In your party, you can choose from someone with a long spear, some of them dual wields axes, some of them uses a sword, and some of them uses a big axe, and so on and so on. There is no real story to speak of. There are these gods and they are bad, and we have to kill them. So the game relies heavily on its gameplay loop to keep you interested. So to be completely honest, I hated the gameplay at first. I thought the combat was clunky, the movement was slow and stiff, and my character didn't strike in the direction I intended. On top of that, there's absolutely no guide on the difficulty levels of each dungeon. You will eventually figure it out after going to every dungeon. You'll find out in which order you should visit these dungeons. So for me, this felt like padding. I mean, figuring out in what order you have to take on these dungeons is more than half of the game. After that, the game just becomes a breeze. Just one gripe I had with this is, why can't I exit a cave once I enter it? I mean, if I can enter it, why can't I exit it? If I see the boss is going to be too tough, let me go and test out another dungeon. But to my surprise, the more I played, the more I got hooked to the gameplay loop. While randomly hopping from one dungeon to the other, getting my ass whooped in the process, I started to enjoy the combat. The henchmen I were fighting were unique enough that they challenge you in different ways. Also, getting used to all of the different character builds got easier with time. The bosses aren't super interesting though, and like I said, once you get the padding out of the way, the game is just piss easy. As you beat every dungeon, your character's stats will increase. If your character dies in a dungeon, some of the other characters' stats might decrease. You will pick up random items throughout, whether it's food that will increase your health, or a bow and arrow which has a limited use, which helps with attacking from a distance, and so on and so on. After you clear a dungeon, you get weapons to take with you, so you can distribute them throughout your party members. So I really had fun for a while. It kept me hooked, but when you start to figure out the pattern the game wants you to take, the game is over quite quickly. And this also hurts the replayability. I think the price is also a bit steep for this title. I would definitely wait for a sale before I purchase it. But let's go to the ranking, shall we? Adverse was very accomplished in what it set out to do, and it did it quite well. But God's Will Fall did keep me hooked for a bit longer. It just has a little bit more depth in its gameplay, so it will go to the top. Overall, it had a solid idea. I had a lot of fun. I just think the asking price is a bit too much. But thank you again for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Werewolf is just around the corner. I'm looking forward to that one. But until then, laugh, party, play. Bye, guys.